Bill Shaw, thank you so much for sitting down with me today to talk about your experience working with me in 2022, 2023, and booking in a couple of power hours over that time.
Thanks, mate. It's good to be on and share, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm excited to get into it. This is a really important time in your life, considering all the work we've done over our 3 power hours and what you're about to do and take action on, which I think is really exciting. So we'll talk about that. But before we do, Bill, tell me a bit more about what was life like before you booked in a power hour with me?
Probably just going with the wind and sort of just floating around doing just what you thought everyone else. I don't know, it was just sort of no real defined direction, I guess, or in a way that you sort of want it. Like, you always think, oh, I could do this, want to do this, want to do that, but then you just, go to work, do whatever. Just it just never really sort of clicks. And so yeah, basically just floating around with the wind and just doing whatever, and then wishing to do things and then not actually doing them, and just because it was easy or just chill. And basically that's just no real not clear direction. I sort of knew what I wanted to do ish, but it wasn't actually what I truly, I guess, wanted to do.
So tell me about what motivated you to book in a power hour with me, Bill.
Well, I was just chatting to you just as a friend, and I just knew that sort of know what you're doing around this sort of stuff. So I thought I'd be I had a few different options coming up, like different ways I wanted to go, and it was just nice to sit down with someone in that sort of space to sort of get a bit of just another opinion and sort of push me, I guess, to actually take the step, and and just sort of provoke me to take that action, I guess. But yeah, I just knew you were good in that space, and another helping hand in making a decision, as I'm not the best at making decisions. I think a bit too much. So it was nice to have someone to bounce the ideas and sort of clear all the sort of clutter up to get in the right direction, I guess.
I remember when our first couple power hours together, there was you had a lot of energy in your head, and you were really isolated in your challenges, and you were thinking all the time. And did you feel like with me bouncing back and forth, we kind of clarify those ideas to really unravel them, to think about them more clearly?
Yeah, definitely. It's just, I just think so much. I try and sort of take on everything myself and work it out myself. And sometimes that can get overwhelming, especially when you've got sort of big life decisions like what I'm about to do. So it's nice. Your parents are nice to bounce ideas off, but they're in sort of a different era, so they have different ideas, and sometimes it just doesn't, they mean tremendously well, like they want the best for you, but sometimes it's just not in line with, I guess, what you want. But so it's nice to have another person on sort of this generation, generation, to have, it's got that same want to do good. And so
For sure, Bill. And would you describe yourself as introverted?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do get extrovert when I want to be, but it's definitely introvert.
Yeah.
So
And with that introvert tendency, I've definitely noticed in the beginning that you have an athlete's mindset, but you challenge yourself, you push yourself internally all the time, which kind of doesn't allow space to give yourself credit for the growth that you've gone through, like with your running, with your personal development, with your uni, for instance, like doing engineering, getting an incredible job, moving out, all these things. What I noticed from the beginning, there was just that lack of even celebration and giving yourself credit.
It was, I remember one of the first one, it was when you sort of said what I've been able to do. It was sort of, I just sort of skip over that, and it's like once I'm done, I'm like, right, next. Like, I always want to be I just can't sit still. I need to be doing like something more. There's always someone else doing something better. So I'm like, well, I can't sit down because that person's doing this, so then I need to get there. And so it was nice, to sort of you to bring that to light. But
I don't think it takes away from your motivation, right? You're still very motivated and you're doing the things you're doing now. but I think it helps slow down and recognize that actually you are killing it and you are on track and you're going to make it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just that nice reassurance, I guess. I like to have, I'm a maths guy, so I like to have everything added up and get that reassurance that things are going to work out. So yeah, it was
Mm.
nice to have that from yourself. Yeah.
For sure, Bill. And I really noticed that, like you said, you're more introverted, you're more analytical, and a lot of our sessions revolved around that. We didn't do a lot of emotional healing work. We more set goals and clarified your vision and
Mm.
then take action on the real, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It was definitely that.
talk to me about that.
Yeah. It was definitely the clarity is probably the one word that sort of hits home there, because yeah, I've just got so much I want to do, and like I want to do this, but I want to do that. And it's just I don't have time and I don't have the energy, I guess, to do all those at the level that I want to do. So getting clarity on what the real Bill, I guess, wants is yeah, that was definitely help. And that was done through, Bill. So but now, yeah, actually doing what I want to do now. So but yeah, it is hard because I want to do so much. But five bills, I split them across all the different things I want to do. But unfortunately, that's not the way it is. So I have to sacrifice. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at now. So
Yeah, and what I noticed there, Bill, is like you've really shifted from sacrificing your own desires for what you should do, and now
mm,
you're sacrificing what you should do for your real desires, and you're taking action on the real Bill and the real things within you that light you up.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I've sort of shut off other stuff and just that's I like doing it. I'm sorry, I'm
Mm,
sorry, but that's just how I am now. So yeah,
yeah. So
I
tell us
like it.
about what life's like now. How are you now? And we only did 3 power hours and messenger coaching, and the
Yeah,
transformations over that time have been just like incredibly powerful.
yeah, yeah. Because I knew the path. Like, I wanted to go on that path, but it was sort of there's so much influence and outside noise that you get. It's just the world we live in now. But yeah, it was just sort of, I guess, that push off the edge, I guess, to go in that. And when you can see other people doing it, it sort of gives you more, or gives me more motivation to take that step. So take that, not a risk, I guess, but push outside. But now it's just I'm just doing what I like to do, and unfortunately, if you don't like it, then you're sort of on the outer. But yeah, I just like doing stuff myself. I like to do a lot of things for other people. I can pretty considerate and I'll go out of my way to help other people, but in that respect, I've probably not given myself enough not recognition time, I guess. And then now I'm just like, well, yeah, I'm gonna give myself a bit of time do things for me as well, and I can't just constantly give other people, which I do like helping people. It's not like I'm gonna shut people out, but yeah, I just wanted to put more energy into what I wanted to do, and
Mm.
I loved it. So yeah.
So I definitely noticed that too. It's like we unraveled your ideas, we got really clear, and then we made those that clarifying of ideas a priority in your life, right?
Mm,
So tell
yeah.
me more about what life's like now and what are some of the things you're doing or not doing as well.
Yeah, I was just going, I guess, all in on the one thing that makes me probably the most happy is on the bike. So just growing up, you playing footy and whatnot, everyone's that's what you do. So I've never like I have enjoyed playing footy. That was awesome, but yeah, I'd always be like, oh, I could be out on the bike, or like, I could have gone and like I've always wanted to travel, and but I've always played footy, so I couldn't travel in the winter because that's when we play footy here, and overseas is summer when the bikes. Anyway, so yeah, I've just sort of really dialed in on what makes me the happiest, I guess, and like you only get sort of the one shot at all this, so I wanted to make it. That was like the biggest thing. I just didn't want to regret anything, and yeah, just going after it now. So yeah, I don't know if that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just been clear, and taking action in that direction, I guess, is what life's like right now.
Wow, I'm
And
so proud of you.
bit nervous, but yeah.
And
Yeah.
just acknowledging how disconnected you felt from people from footy. And I
Mm,
remember you saying one time, like after a game at presentation where everyone's really hyped up and pumped up, you just smoke bombed it and got out of there because you didn't even feel connected to these
yeah.
people. Compared to
Well,
like when you were traveling over to New Zealand with your bike and you were just meeting people and you really connected and you were vibing and you
yeah,
actually felt genuinely happy then.
yeah, yeah, definitely for sure. Like, not disconnected, I guess, from the people and the footy. Like, they're all nice. It wasn't about that. It was more like, I think we won a grand final and everyone was just like, this is the best day of my life and stuff. And I was sort of just this one little thought come in. I was like, oh, it wasn't that, like, I wasn't fully like thrilled. Like, it wasn't this elation of emotion. It was more like, I just won a game. Like, it wasn't, and that's sort of when I was like, yeah, it just wasn't like, yeah, that's sort of when it clicked a little bit more than I shouldn't probably be playing. But yeah, it was like it's fun in bits football, but yeah, I just always had these little thoughts of what could I be doing on the bike, and I knew how much happy I was. And then yeah, when I went to New Zealand, that was probably the one. That was probably the moment where I was like, I've found it. Like, this is me. Like, I was just the happiest. Like, that elation feeling I got when I went to New Zealand. So that's what I've been looking for. And then, yeah, taking that little jump was the best. Probably there. That, can't believe it. 1 week sort of changed everything and just made it obvious and I guess clear that that's what I wanted to do. And yeah, and then the other thing with the worst case scenario, like, that's when I didn't know whether it was I should or should not, because I do engineering, so it's got a good job. Like, I shouldn't give it up, and it's like, they're amazing to work for and stuff. But you sit there and just be like, oh, could be doing this, could be doing that, and then is when you brought up the worst case. What's the worst case scenario? And it was like, I'm living now, so I was like, that's pretty. Yeah, well, like, I just need to go and do it, because worst case, I come back to exactly where I am now. So yeah, that's sort of, yeah, and then now I'm taking the full leap. So yeah, but
So happy
exciting.
for you, man.
Yeah,
So
it's
tell me
hell of it.
about where you're going in 3 weeks.
So I'm going to Canada, moving there I've got a 2-year working visa. Don't know if I'll be able to do this the winter. I'm a pretty fair weather sailor, so and I like to ride my bike, and you can't really ride. You can, but it's like wet and cold in the winter.
But
So
just slow down, Bill. You're moving there.
yeah,
It's not like you're
yeah,
going on a vacation. You quit your engineering job
yeah,
and you're moving to Canada for a certain amount of time to go
yeah,
riding on your mountain bike, connecting with people, and chasing that feeling that makes you feel alive.
yeah. It makes you definitely feel like that. Yeah, I'm
So
pretty.
again, give yourself some credit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's still like, yeah, 3 weeks. It's this time in 3 weeks I'll be pooing myself. But anyway, it's all right.
Yeah, man, I know. I won't be able to even get onto you because
Yeah,
you'll just be so happy and excited doing your thing.
yeah,
It's amazing to hear.
yeah,
It's such an incredible honor, Bill, to support you in that way
mm,
as a friend, but also as a coach. Like you were saying, your friends and your family could support you, but I think the relationship with a coach, you can go a lot deeper and you can receive a different level of
mm,
support.
yeah. And they're definitely like, you're just on that same level of wanting to do better. So that
Mm,
your opinion is sort of aligned with that same level, I guess.
mm.
Yeah, and a lot of it resonates with both, like, when in that. Yeah, so that's why, yeah, definitely helps when everyone wants to do better. So
That's it. Yeah.
mm,
Especially like I couldn't agree more getting around people that are like-minded, whether that's a coach or a group program that normalize like going after your full potential, setting
mm,
goals, taking action.
yeah, yeah,
Like a lot of people on the average do that kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
No, it's been, yeah, good just to just to have someone to bounce the ideas when I sort of needed it, because I do sort of a lot of internal thinking and wanting to do, like, always, pushing myself. So it's nice to have someone when I get to a bit of a crossroads and I've got all these things that I want to do, that just to sort of, you ask the right questions, I guess, to provoke, and then bring that, that makes sense now, or just to run the ideas by to, that's the right way to go. And
Isn't it interesting? Like, as your coach, I ask you certain questions. I'm not telling you to do certain things. I'm like, well, I'm asking you questions. We're working back and forth to come to an answer which feels really good for you.
Yeah, definitely. It's that. Yeah, because like, I'll just speak and then you'll be like, listen, and then you can sort of pick out the bits that and then reiterate that or ask about that, and it just sort of brings your minds to think about that in a different way, and sort of just brings to light what you actually want, I guess, because you can overthink things far too much, and then it's like it's all just pretty simple in the end. But it's when you've got there's so much out there and options, and the choice of things nowadays is getting ridiculous. So when you've got all that, all that clutter, I guess, you just need that person who knows what you want from listening, and they can just like really define it, more so just for your brain to sort of realize what it actually is more. Because once, all you got to do is convince yourself, like, if you want to be like, what's the word? You want to, like, obviously, if you're doing like something with yourself that you want to be better, you want to do something, but you sort of, just not a bit unclear, you just find that bit to sort of push you to take that step or whatever. So
and if someone was feeling unclear, scattered, or a bit lost, perhaps like you were last year before you booked that power hour, would you recommend my coaching?
Yeah, for sure. It just really brings up, like, you obviously know what you want, but it's hard to sort of make that decision, or because obviously, there's all outside noise, and you sort of break that down and to what you truly want, and then it gives you the courage, I guess, to do it, because sort of, why not? I'm getting into saying that nowadays, so why not? Why can't you do that? So you just bring to light what you actually want, is probably, because it's in there, but it's hard in this day and age to get it out and actually do it. So
So proud of you, Bill, and so happy for the growth
Thanks.
and things you've been taking action on, bro. Anything else you want to say that you feel like you are still harboring in there?
No, well, there's always stuff I've got to work on. So, but I guess that's more to come. I'll keep working on that, keep trying to be better. But that's pretty much it. So, thank you for your help. So that's about it.
My absolute honor, brother. Thank you for your time again.
No worries.